All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. NQ Addict Scalping course. My name is Chris Drysdale. I am an NQ Addict. This is going to be Module 5, and we're going to be talking about the initial balance. Okay, this is another great concept for intraday trading. The initial balance is the price range that forms during the first hour of trading session, and that's the regular trading hours. So when the stock market opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time to 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, it's based on the activity of traders during that time frame. And I repeat, the first hour of the stock market, the U.S. stock market exchange, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time to 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, it's an indicator that we use to get a sense of the market's intent early on, and it gives us a bias on our trading session accordingly. The activity and volume of trades during the first hour can be more significant than what happens in later hours. Okay. The initial balance acts very much like a distribution area, and the rules of balance trading apply. So just like our volume profile, just like our VWAP with the bands. The IB midpoint is the point of control, so the level where the highest level of trading takes place. The IB high is the value area high, and the IB low is the value area low. And even IB extensions can create new balance areas, and I'll go into that later in this video. But this is going to be a pretty quick segment. You guys have learned all the rules, so really I'm just kind of demonstrating how it looks with this particular indicator. Okay, so I use, this is the initial balance indicator I use. I'll show you which one it is when we get there, but this green line is the initial balance high. The red line is the initial balance low. This spotted orange line is the midpoint. Okay, so, and this is the market open here, 9:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m. So it takes the range of that first hour of trading. Okay, so that's our distribution. So what happens here? Very common. Okay, our IB low is the value area low. Could not get past it. So where do we expect to go? That's right, point of control, IB mid. Could not get past IB mid to go to IB high, so where did we go? Back to IB low, rejected again. Eventually we do break it. Price accepts. We've come back to retest. Now we're confirmed. The retest fails. We can expect price discovery to the downside. Okay. Now this is a 50%. So this is 50% of IB. This is 50%. So this is the whole initial balance. It can be broken into halves. So this is a half extension. This is a full extension. This is essentially the whole IB direction, the distance, again. And these act as significant levels. So new balance areas form here, right, on these fractal forms. All right, so the 50% extension acted as support. We bounced off of it. We broke below it, broke above it, broke below. All right, so this happens quite often. Another example, broke below value area high, retested, rejected, price discovery, held, 50% extension, broke below it, retested, back down to a full IB extension, back up to 50, look, can't get above it. This is no coincidence, guys. These act as very significant levels. All right, these are our main tools. We have 3 main tools to watch to give us an idea of where our based on distribution, balance, imbalance theory. This is going to give us our levels on a daily basis. Okay, here's another extreme example. This might be a little hard to see, but we rejected the IB low, big bounce. We chopped around it, got down to almost to the tick, IB 50% extension, back to IB low, tried to re-enter value, could not, rejected, back down to the extension. Okay, create a new distribution here. Then we had a big move. This is where we're standing to the side. There's clearly, these 5-minute candles are huge. It's moving fast. We are not trading, ladies and gentlemen, and I go into this in more detail, but this is not what we trade. Okay, we don't trade any of this. However, when we get back up here, we got some great scalping opportunities here. Right, this is what we're looking for. We're in imbalance. We returned to value. Held support. Now we got some great long trades off of IB low. Okay, lots of scalps to take here. Out. probably like 2 hours worth of scalping could be done here. After hours, still holding the IB 50%, back down to the extension, back up to IB low, rejected. So these levels are very important. If you're not watching these levels, ladies and gentlemen, you're missing out on something very important. Okay, so between our volume profile, our VWAP with bands, and our IB, we have a lot of powerful stuff going on to give us trade ideas. Okay, let me turn on my IB tool here. The one you want to add in TradingView is this initial balance, it's called, by Noop. Noop. Okay, this is the one I like. You need to make sure that the timing is correct. My TradingView does something really weird. Obviously the market open is from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My time is correct here. I don't know what's going on. But if I go to the details, I actually have it set from 8:30 to 9:30. It's off by an hour. I don't know why. So you might have the same problem. So just double check. All right. Just make sure that this orange box is from 9:30 to 10:30. All right. That will give you your IB high and low. And I already kind of went through a lot of these charts, but these levels remain important day after day. So even the next day, look how important IB high was. Right. So we retested that level, rejected. So we'll form a lot of these distributions, and these are very important levels to watch, all right, including the 50% extension and the full extensions, okay? Keep in mind, it doesn't always hold these levels to the tick. These are more zones, okay? So one of the biggest mistakes you can make on any of these indicators, the volume profile, the IB initial balance, or the VWAP, is price is coming down and just blindly going long because it touches it. Okay, that's not how we trade. That's not how I execute. I use order flow for confirmation, and that's something we're going to go into in a later module. But you have to get out of the concept of like, oh, it's coming up to a line, it's resistance, short it, and it just blasts through it. All right. If you're doing that with NQ, you're going to lose. All right. You have to be patient. You have to wait for confirmation. You have to use other tools to help you gauge an entry. It's not simply, here's a line, short it, or we broke through it, long. I wish it was that simple. It is not. It will break through these levels all the time. It will chop around them. So in order to be a good scalper, you have to be more patient. You have to wait for confirmation, right? This is a 5-minute chart, right? So we chopped around this area for like half an hour, right? We could have taken good longs off of this. There would have been a lot of good volume confirmation here. As we approach this from the approaching this from the downside, this could look like a good short. Oh, I'm just going to short off initial balance, and then it blasted through it by 20 points. Taking a big loser on that. Here we're watching order flow. If we're seeing a ton of buying coming in, and it's not slowing down, and we're not seeing some candle, it hang out here for a little bit, don't short it. Not the time. You have to wait. You have to be patient. Don't just take a position because it's coming up towards one of these areas, right? There's more to it than that, and we'll get into it. But aside from that, I believe that's all I have in this video on initial balance. Up next, we're going to talk about another very important concept to keep in mind while scalping NQ. It's the idea of market rhythm and price rotations, okay? We'll go into that in our next video. Thanks for watching. I will see you there.